Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And I am so just over the moon that I finally get to talk about a Chelsea win. I literally don't care what the opponent is. It's been such a difficult season. I'm celebrating anything. And so today I'm celebrating the fact that Chelsea got 3 points. Chelsea got 3 goals and we freaking won a game of football. And so I am over the moon. Now we finally mathematically cannot get relegated from the league, so I can stop answering that question because my DMs have been flooded with people telling me, Ellie, we're going to get relegated. I'm like, no, we're not. It's like, it'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. So I am so happy. So yeah, let me know all of your thoughts about the game. We're gonna get through all of it, and yeah, I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Like, I literally have not been this happy after a Chelsea match in the longest time. So in this match review, I'm going to be going through my thoughts on the starting 11, kind of like the thoughts in the first half, second half, the big moments that happened, and then like a goal analysis as well. But definitely make sure to give me your comments, your questions, so that we can talk about it all. Everybody's like, we're staying up, we did it, we won a match of football. So honestly, like, going into this game, I was nervous, not only because Chelsea's record really hasn't been good recently, but I just feel that Bournemouth have been fighting a lot, and they obviously beat Leeds 4-1 in their previous game, and that was like a massive game for them. They beat Southampton 1-0. They beat Spurs 3-2. So going into this match, I knew that they were in like pretty good form, and obviously we weren't in good form. So I really felt like anything could happen, and it was 12th versus 13th at this point in time. So it's a pretty like evenly placed match if you want to look at it from like a standings perspective as well. So I really felt that anything could happen given the form that Chelsea are in. So let me present my screen so that we can go through the starting 11 here. So here we go. There's an ad. I don't know how to get rid of this. Well, hopefully you can still see it. So basically, starting 11, we're playing in a 4-3-3, Kappa in goal, and then we have Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Badiashile, and Ben Chilwell in the defense. Then N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, and Noni Madueke, Kai Havertz, and Mykhailo Mudryk. So looking at this starting 11, I was fairly happy for the most part. Like, a lot of names that I called for wanting to see starting did start. Super happy that Madueke got another start after he scored his first goal for Chelsea, and he looks like a bright spark in the Arsenal game. And then Mykhailo Mudryk finally getting a start. And I was also really happy to see Benoit Badiashile, because that's something that, if you guys have been tuning into these post-match live reactions, is something that I've been questioning. Like, what has happened to Badiashile? Why has he been dropped out of the blue when he was putting in really solid performances, in my opinion, and then he just couldn't get back into the starting 11. So I was happy to see that. Chalobah starting ahead of Aspie at right back. As much as it pains me to say, I think that it makes sense. I don't think that Aspie can necessarily play like 2 games in a row, and I just think that Trevor is like a little bit faster in that regards as well. But I was a little bit nervous about this back four, just because our history with a back four hasn't been good recently. We tend to be super open and concede a lot of goals. And then here in the midfield, I mean, I think that it basically made sense. I think, you know, going forward in the next season, ideally we want to sign a DM, and I'll talk about that when we do the goal analysis. But just, I feel that Enzo's positioning, or like his best position, is a bit further up, and so he's playing too far back, and so we're not getting the best out of Enzo. But hopefully with like a DM next season, that's going to change. But I think that it made sense that Kovacic was dropped. Personally, I don't think that he's been playing so well. Sterling was benched. Who else was benched? Anybody surprising bench? No, those were like the two that I think made sense that were benched. And yeah, so let's just take a look at some stats. I can't believe this. Like, what the heck? We scored 3 goals and our expected goals was 1.39. Like, who are we outperforming our expected goals so much? When does that ever happen? So super psyched about that. And Bournemouth actually had 1.26 expected goals. They had a couple of chances that I was thinking, like, how has this not gone in? So they were like a little bit unlucky, I think. Ball possession, we had 66%. We had 11 shots, 5 on target. So out of our 5 shots on target, 3 went in, so 60%, which is just insane because that never happens to us. And Bournemouth had 10 shots, 4 on target, 4 off target, and 2 block shots. So you just see, like, we had really similar stats in terms of shots and shot creation. And Bournemouth scored 1 and Chelsea scored 3. So it really could have gone either way, but I'm just like so happy that we finally got something. And Chelsea, 3 big chances, 1 big chance missed. Bournemouth had 1 big chance, 1 big chance missed. And then goals prevented. Oh, this is interesting. Goals prevented measures the keeper's effectiveness at preventing the goals. A negative score indicates that the goalkeeper has conceded more goals than expected. So Kepa kind of close-ish to not being negative. We had 517 accurate passes for 88% accuracy, 64% long balls. They had more cross completion, more dribbles as well, and more tackles. We had more interceptions, and they had far more clearances, but I think that that's to be expected. And taking a look at the Premier League table, we finally have shot up to 11th. So we finally have at least made progress, and we're going up instead of down. Small wins. Maybe we'll finish in the first half of the table. Let's see. And I'm joking, obviously, like that, with the season that we've had, like, it is what it is at this point, and I just have to make light of the situation. But obviously, like, this is terrible for Chelsea. Finally get a win on the board, 42 points, clear of relegation. Finally, absolutely mathematically impossible for us to get relegated. So cheers to that as well. And yeah, we were without a win in 9 games going into this match. We had 6 losses in a row without a clean sheet for 6 games. And we had less than 2.5 goals in 6 out of the last 8 games as well. So let's just quickly take a look at some player statistics. Oh, this is bothering me so much. It usually doesn't show this. So let's look at the attack. So Matthias Viña actually had the most shots on target at 3 out of either side. Noni Madueke had 2. Badiashile had 1 that went in. Gallagher had 1 that went in as well. And then, of course, Joao Felix had 1 that went in. Shots off target, Ryan Christie, yeah, he was looking like really potent, in my opinion. And I was surprised that at one point he didn't score. Aspie had a shot off target. Well, there's a couple, quite a few. And then let's see, clearances, Bournemouth topping the board. I guess that makes sense since we had more of the ball. Block shots, Ben Chilwell, Conor Gallagher. Interceptions, Marcus Sensei. Adam Smith. Tackles topping, Bournemouth again. Let's look at passing. Like, if you look at long balls, I don't know, but Enzo typically tops this. Yeah, look at this. Like, he's so good at long balls and just like diagonal crosses. He completed 11 out of 13, which is just insane. Badiashile 6 out of 9. Kepa only 3 out of 7. Thiago Silva 50% of his, like, accurate passes, Enzo 93%, and then you're putting out of those, you have 13 long balls in there. I think that's super, super interesting. And then the defenders for Chelsea having the most touches, Badiashile topping, Chalobah, Fernandes, Thiago Silva. So let's talk a bit about the match and the goals. So I personally could not believe that Chelsea scored a goal so early on into the first half. I was like, oh my god, like we've freaking gone and scored a goal. So that was really exciting. Conor Gallagher, really good header by him. But then let me see what minute it was in that we conceded. It was in the 21st minute. So it was only 11 or 12 minutes or so that we held a lead before Bournemouth really just cut through us like butter. It was probably it was one of the best goals that I've seen this season, and probably like one of their goals of the season. Just really quick 1-2 passes. It was, you know, really really a good goal by them, but it's just, as a Chelsea fan, of course, worrying how easily they were able to cut through. And I think that this goal specifically really highlights the need for Chelsea needing a DM in the summer, because if you have a DM, they're really going to be sniffing out that danger and nipping that in the bud, and not allowing teams to cut through us like that. And I think that we also see a bit of like the positioning issues that we have been chopped and changed so much, going from a back 3/5 to a back 4 with all these different players coming in that nobody really knows their position. So you kind of see like people taking up positions and there's open space. And I think that that was highlighted in that goal. So went to 1-1. And honestly, at this point, I was thinking like, we've conceded again. What's going to happen? Like, are we going to be able to get back into this game? Because at that point, Bournemouth, in my opinion, actually looked like they had the better of the chances. Even though we had more of the ball, I didn't feel that we were necessarily doing so much with it. So then really didn't do much, in my opinion, in the first half. Second half, we come out, no Chelsea changes, still didn't look like doing much. And then Frank Lampard starts making his first changes. So we first get them at the 63rd minute, and we have a double change. Mikhailo Mudryk um, out for Raheem Sterling, and then Conte out for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Honestly, I didn't have too many qualms with this substitution. Obviously, I don't think that Raheem Sterling has necessarily been playing his best this season. And I saw this video the other day that his goals for City were it was like, I think he scored like 18 goals or had like 18 goal contributions last season for City, and this season he has like 6 or 8 for Chelsea, something like that. So I wasn't necessarily questioning it so much, because like, who else are you going to bring on? But I was like, okay, hopefully he can do something on that left hand side. And then in the 75th minute, and we got Aspie in for Ben Chilwell and Hakeem Ziyech in for Madueke. And this was the one that I was like really questioning the substitution, because you have Lewis Hall on your bench, who's played left back before. Obviously, that's not his natural position. His natural position is further forward, but he's actually done like quite a good job there. So it seemed that Lampard just went for seniority. And at that point, I was thinking, okay, I don't know what we're realistically going to do. And then I've kind of just been surprised that Ziyech is still included in the team, to be honest, just because it seems that I don't know, this is just complete speculation. It's just me thinking he was literally in Paris about to move to PSG. His move fell through, and it really seems to me like, if that's the case, then he's probably going to be sold this summer. And so I kind of of the opinion of like, maybe we should just be playing players that we know are going to be here next season. And I don't think Ziyech is one of those players. So I'm a bit surprised that he's still getting minutes, albeit, few minutes, 10, 15. But I was still surprised that he was kind of subbed on ahead of some other options. And Ben Chilwell, I want to speak about for just a moment, seems to have gone off with another injury. At least he was able to walk off the pitch, which is always positive. I haven't seen any updates about what the injury could potentially be. But it's quite worrying for Chelsea that you have Reece James and Ben Chilwell who are consistently getting injured and can't seem to stay fit. That's I don't know. Like, I think you probably can have Lewis Hall as a backup, and then obviously we have Malagusto coming in next season, so that's going to be like pretty good coverage. But it's a bit worrying for me how much both of those players are getting injured, and I hate it because I think that they're two of our very best players when they're fit, and I just want to see them fit and healthy. I don't want to see them injured anymore. At least the season is basically over and he can have a couple of months to recover. Hopefully it's nothing major. But I really feel for Ben because he just can't seem to stay fit. And then we get right after the substitution, we get a free kick. Benoit Badiashile scores. I honestly couldn't believe that we scored from a set piece. Like, I was just shocked, like, oh my God, it's gone in. And if somebody has the amount of goals that we've scored from set pieces this year, I would absolutely love to know that number because I feel like it really hasn't been so many. And on the other side, we tend to concede a lot of goals from set pieces. So I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that we've actually scored a goal from a set piece. At this point, my heart was racing. Like, my heart was actually racing because we had a lead and I didn't want us to concede again. And I was like, oh my God, like, please, please, Chelsea, can you just get all 3 points? Joao Felix gets brought on 2 minutes later. He scores. It was really great link up with Sterling, to be fair. Like, Sterling attracted a lot of defenders to him. And I felt that it wasn't an easy ball to put into the box. And Joao Felix still had work to do. So I was really happy to finally see, like, bodies in the box and Joao Felix getting a goal as well. At that point, the game was over, like 3-1. And I was very happy, like, oh my God, I don't have to worry about the last when did he score? So he scored in the 86th minute. So I don't have to worry about the last like 5 or so minutes about them equalizing because now there's no coming back from this, hopefully. And one other point that I wanted to touch on was the penalty incident. So Thiago Silva brought down, I think it was Solanke, and I don't think that it was a penalty. Like, the stream that I saw, or like the angle that I saw, looks like he got the ball, but the commentators were saying something different, that it should have been a penalty. Fun fact, Bournemouth have not been awarded a penalty so far this season, and Chelsea haven't been awarded or haven't like conceded a penalty either this season. So if that was given, both of those records would have been broken. But I personally don't think that is a penalty. But what do you guys think? I don't know. Like, I didn't see it so much. That was a pen. No idea how it wasn't given. I might have to just rewatch it then because I like saw it quickly and then I didn't really see like so much replay or anything. So I'm definitely going to have a second look. But that was really a turning point in the game because if Chelsea could see that penalty and go 2-1 down, I really don't know if we go on to win 3-2 and get our heads up. So that was massive for us to have, even if it was a penalty. Again, I don't know. I didn't see a good enough look of it. To have a bit of luck go our way to win a game for once, like, really sucks for Bournemouth if it should have been a penalty. But we just needed that. Like, you could see at the end of the game that everybody was like finally like in a better mood, heads lifted. Oh, I also thought that Madueke was really good in this game. He was causing so much havoc on that right-hand side, partially because it felt that the team was like doubling and tripling up on Mykhailo Mudryk because he's so devastating when you allow him time and space in behind. So I think that they were trying to prevent him from getting any time on the ball. But that subsequently opened up space for Madueke to operate in. And I thought that he was really good in this match. I think that his end product could improve a little bit. At some points, it looked like he was trying to get the goal for himself. I think he could have like picked his head up and pulled it back or put in a cross. But for the most part, I thought that he was a really bright spark down that right hand side. And the other thing is, like, he's only 21 years old, which is just insane. He had like some of the defenders tap dancing at one point. Like, it was really, really a great performance from him. And personally, I'm just super excited to see what he can bring to Chelsea next season, because I think that he looks super promising and has a lot of potential. So he was really a bright spark. So I really wanted to highlight that as well. Hibbo says, I guess regarding the penalty, I guess we'll see on TikTok when he posts like when it's posted like 300 ties. Hagen says, I think it was a pen. Silva did not get the ball. We were lucky there, but overall we deserved the win. And then some Bala says Silva had a touch on the ball. So that's the thing. Yeah, like I've seen some people saying Silva didn't get the ball, others saying that he did get the ball. From what I saw, I thought that I saw that he got a touch on the ball. But like I said, I would maybe have to watch it again in order to see. So yeah, just going to read through your comments. Terry says Chelsea won their first game under Frank Lampard and just their second away match of 2023. I think I saw like before the game we had only won like 4 away matches, so maybe this is like the 5th. And I think I saw that stat at like the 70th or 75th minute, like right before we scored, and I was like, oh my god, like this really is now boding well for us. Yeah, yeah, we won. Woo! I can't tell you like how happy I am. Like Chelsea just puts like, it shouldn't affect my mood as much as it does, but it's just like so exciting when we finally win a game, and I'm not like upset after a match, honestly. Yeah, we can finally celebrate, like, sleep well. Um, yeah, of course, there's downsides to the game, and I'm not really harping on them too much because there's just been like so much negativity surrounding Chelsea recently. At points, of course, we did look lethargic. We didn't look like scoring, but I feel like the opportunities that we did create where we scored were so positive, and if we can just like build off of that, that would be amazing. But I think like it's really a lesson as well. Like, start the youngsters, start the players that are hungry to play. And I think that that's basically what Lampard did in this game, and it paid off. Yeah, Madueke was amazing. Totally agree. Yes, I tweeted this as well. As soon as he scored, I tweeted this. I love this chant. Like, I think that it's so, so catchy. Richie Zauer says, we won a game. I can't believe this. Yeah, so I honestly thought that we were probably going to draw this game. So super, super happy. Everybody's like, we won a game of football. Yeah, Ollie says it should have been a pen for them, but honestly, we needed a bit of luck and we finally got it. Yeah, and like I said, like if that's a pen, I don't think Chelsea go on to win the game or even draw the game, because whenever we've conceded goals, we kind of put like our heads are down, like the body language is poor. We just look like, we don't go fighting for that next goal. So that really was like a massive turning point. But honestly, I'll take it. I'll take a win. I don't care that it's against Bournemouth. They've been like a bogey team for us anyways. So I'm personally super, super happy. Yeah, he's raw, of course, but he's only 21. He really does have great potential. Yeah, Kiana says we've been in need of a DM since giving matches to United. Couldn't agree more. I think it's surprising that we've gone this long, to be honest with you, without having a DM. I've seen. I don't know if we're gonna go for Declan Rice. I've seen that West Ham are asking for 100 million, but that's like the asking price. So I'm guessing it's gonna be like 70, 80 million. And I don't know like how much Chelsea can like splurge this summer with like the spending spree that we've had, and it just like is a bit unfortunate that I feel that we've spent money unwisely and bought a lot of players that we didn't necessarily need or that haven't performed or fit in. But I guess we'll see who gets sold in the summer, and if we're kind of like raising funds. The squad is so bloated. Like, I honestly don't know who goes this summer. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's a couple of players that I'm like, okay, they clearly want to leave. But we're already bringing in like in Kuku, we bring in under Santos. We have a couple of people coming back from loan as well. So you're already getting in like even more. Oh, Malu Gusto, Cam Hudson-Odoi, um, Ethan Ampadu, like you have a ton of players out, Levi Colwell, you have a ton of players out on loan or that we've already bought that are coming back. So the squad's going to get even more bloated. So we have to really like, I think it's going to be at like 40, and ideally you want to trim it down to like 25 or something. Like I don't think we're going to see like 15 players going this season. But yeah, really crazy, really crazy. Um, Yeah, finally Joao Felix scoring a goal. Super happy about him. Like that goal, how many goals has he scored for us? Like two or three, and we paid what, like 11 million for him. So each goal has cost like 3 million or 4 million. Hopefully he scores more so that we kind of like even it out a bit. Wow, so many people watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Um, I'm so happy that we're all like in a good mood finally after the game. Yeah, we're staying up, can't get relegated. Honestly, so happy because I had so many people messaging me about that we're going to get relegated. I was like, really don't think that this is possible. Um, Oh, this is like a really good idea. I love this. Thank you so much. So yeah, definitely once the season is over, I'll get a video out on this. So yeah, if you guys have any more like videos that you want to see or video ideas that you want to see, please do let me know. Because right now I'm just kind of doing like match reviews and like some FPL stuff. But if there's anything else that you want to see, please tell me because I love making the videos. I'm just like lacking a bit of inspo for content at the moment. So which players do you guys want to see leave this season? Let me know, or like I guess after the season, obviously, like leave in the summer for next season. So Luca says Ruben Kai, Hudson Odoi, Gallagher, Lukaku. I honestly forgot Lukaku's coming back. I do this every single time. I literally forget that he's on loan. Bakayoko. I can't believe that he still plays for the club either. What? Ampadu, Aubameyang, Ziyech, Aspie all gotta go. I literally it like breaks my heart to see Aspie's name included in there. Like I just adore him. He's honestly like the nicest person as well. Like I met him when I was in London last time, and he was like so nice, and I was so nervous to meet him. And I was like, I was like, can we take a picture? And he was like, yeah. And I tried to take it on my camera, and I was like shaking because I was so nervous. And then I was like recording a video, and then it wasn't working. And so then I got on my phone, and he stayed throughout the whole thing, like after like 3 or 4 times of me attempting to take a picture with him. So he was so, so lovely. So I'm going to be really sad to see him leave Chelsea, but I think if he goes somewhere else, he'll probably going to get a bit more playing time. So yeah, I can't believe Bakayoko's still at Chelsea. Like there's just certain players that haven't played for the club in so long, like him, that I'm like, how is it possible? Like I totally forgot. Um Tag said I wouldn't mind if we sell Cucurella, but it's not gonna happen. I just don't see us selling him, to be honest. I don't think that he's had a good season by any means. But I was honestly like so stoked when we signed him because I was like, wow, this is an incredible signing. Like I thought that he was fantastic for Brighton. Obviously, City were going for him, and I was like, wow, we beat City to like this fantastic signing. Like it's going to be such a good backup as well because Ben Chilwell's out injured all the time, and so finally we're not going to have like as much of a gap in that left wing back role. And he just hasn't been himself. I know that he's had like some personal things that have happened, and he was like in the hospital and lost like 5 kilos or something like that. And so I really hope that we can see like the player that I thought that we had when we signed him, because I think that he's put in a handful of good performances this season, but really hasn't been up to his potential. But I think that you can say that about a lot of the players that we signed, that they really haven't been playing up to what you would expect of them. But I think that that's true for, I don't know, most of the squad. Like, it's honestly been such a, you know, difficult season and nobody's really been playing well. I was thinking, for like the Chelsea like season awards that we have, like, are we even going to have that? Because it's just been like such a poor season. Like, who is the player of the season? For me, maybe Thiago Silva. I don't know, who's your guys' player of the season as well? Let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the announcement. This was so funny. I couldn't believe it. That was fantastic. Richie Zauer says, should we keep Felix? Um, I don't know. For me, I think that you probably have one of Joao Felix or Mason Mount, and I would keep Mason Mount. And I also think that if you sign Joao Felix, it's going to be for a ton of money, because Atletico bought him for like 120 or 130 million euros. And so they're not going to let him go for maybe less than like 80. And I just don't think that he's worth that given what we've seen of his performances. And it's quite frustrating because I feel like there is a really good player in there. And we saw today, like, finally, he was clinical in front of goal. He took the shot, scored, super well placed. But I just don't feel like he's done so much or enough in order to warrant us signing him. I've seen maybe we're going to get another loan. Like, obviously, Athletic have been flying since he left on loan. So maybe we get him on another loan with like an option to buy or something like that. But I wouldn't want to do it if it meant that we lose Mason. I think that losing Mason is a massive, massive mistake. And we will regret it if we let him go, especially you let him go to one of our top rivals in the league. I don't think that makes sense at all. And so yeah. Yeah, finally a Chelsea win. Super, super excited about it. Um, yeah, this is a good point as well. And Kuko is coming in as well. So we just have so many attackers. I just think like that it doesn't make sense to have another one. But it seems that he's like quite settled in London and really happy at Chelsea. So maybe we see him get another loan or something. Luca says, we have so many strikers. Why do we need another one? We got Fofana, Broya, Lukaku. If we get that, it will be another one we can just try and develop. I don't know. Like, this is like super interesting. Like, do you guys think that Lukaku gets a chance under Poch? I'm super curious to see how this works out, because I think like with the fans, that interview, like, he never recovered from that. And unless he starts like absolutely bagging in the goals, I don't see him like staying at Chelsea. And I'm gonna look at his stats because I don't think that they've even been so good this season. Yeah, so like this season, so to put it into perspective, in 2019 to 2020, he scored 23 goals, 2 assists for Inter. Then 2020 to 21, he scored 24 goals and got 11 assists. And then this year for Inter, he scored 5 goals and 5 assists. So he's not banging it the same way that he was. I don't watch Inter religiously, but I don't think that they're gonna go for him again this season. So yeah, I really don't know what happens with Lukaku, because like, pay 100 million for him, you're not getting anywhere close to that for him. I don't think there's really even buyers in the market. So what do you realistically do? And then do you give him a second chance at Chelsea? I don't know. But I think like it's going to be super important for Poch to just have like his team be able to have time with the team and say, okay, these are the players. Like, you need to be harsh about it. it sucks. Like it really does suck. We have to be harsh and be like, okay, these are the players that are in, these are the players that need to be sold. And then we figure out a way to sell them because the squad is too massive and it's just resulted in so many problems for us. We really, really need to trim the squad. Um, oh my God, Baba Rahman's contract ends in 2024. What? Like I literally forgot that these guys still played for Chelsea. Um, Terry says Poch puts an intensive pressing structure with Lukaku. Our pressing structure will be catastrophic. Exactly why he struggled under Tuchel too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see it working out, but I have been wrong before, so I have learned to say never. But I personally would be surprised if we see Lukaku at Chelsea next season. Um, Bleed CFC Blue says it's criminal not to be playing Manueke all the time. He's way better than Diaz, etc. Thing is, like Manueke just signed for Chelsea as well, so like you know that he's going to be playing at Chelsea for the foreseeable future. So why are we not starting him? And I even felt like in the few glimpses of game time that he had, he just looks like so strong. So why are we not starting Manueke? So yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. But I'm super happy that he started the past two. I think he starts the remainder of the games for the season because he's been quite good. He's been a bright spark. Just needs to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal or have like better decision making, like I was saying earlier in the stream. Get his head up, kind of look, like see if he can cut the ball back or cross the ball, whatever it is. But he looked like he was gliding past the defenders, and it's been so long since we've had somebody as well that can take on players 1v1 like that. I really feel like the last player was Eden Hazard, and I thought that Christian Pulisic was going to be that player for us, especially post restart. I thought that he was phenomenal, but really like he hasn't shown so many signs of doing that in the past, in like recently. Obviously he hasn't been getting so much game time or anything. But I think that he's just 21 years old and he's already doing that. He looks to be super powerful, and I feel like he's only going to get better from here. So I think it's going to be really useful if we can just give him the remaining games that we have and say like, okay, this is basically an extended preseason at this point. Give it your all, like wreak havoc basically. Um, Lucas saying maybe we could do an Onana swap deal. We give them Lukaku and we get Onana if they want to keep him, of course. Yeah, I mean, I know Todd Bowley's like trying to pull off like well, I don't know this for a fact. I just seen this on social media. That Todd Bowley's like been trying to pull off swap deals. So I guess never say never. That's like an interesting point as well. Like I do think like which player would you, or not which player, which position would you say is like the most needed for us? Because I've been seeing striker, but I feel like if we have Nkuku coming in, the problem is like he plays best off of like a number 9 as well, and we don't really have that 9. Unless Lukaku stays with us. And I'm assuming Aubameyang is getting sold, but maybe you can have like Broya or Fofana as well in there. But I feel like desperately we need a DM. Like that's top position for me. It has been for a while. I couldn't believe that we like didn't invest in the midfield at all, like except for Enzo in January. But over the last summer, I couldn't believe that we didn't sign any midfielders. Enzo in January obviously is a big one. So I think a DM for sure we need to be looking at, if not Declan Rice, somebody. And then also a goalkeeper, because I don't know what's going on with Mendy, because he was so good, then kind of fell off massively. It was super strange, and then now he just hasn't gotten into the team at all. So not sure what's happening. I guess once you kind of have a starting goalkeeper, unless they're doing like atrociously, you don't like start the other one. But I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't got like any game time. And I just like I think like Kepa has done well for us, but I don't think that he's a world-class keeper that's going to like necessarily save you week in, week out. And maybe that's a little bit harsh because I feel that he has made some really good saves, but then there's been other games where I feel like he's letting goals that were savable. And if you have like, I think like the most like jarring example of this to me was in the Real Madrid game that Thibaut Courtois kept them in the match and he made some game saving saves in order to help Madrid win the game, whereas we conceded. So I think like that was like the most stark contrast. So for me, it's a DM and a goalkeeper. But what about you? Terry says striker, DM, and goalkeeper. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of Terry says a lot of people sing for Caicedo, but he's only in 8. We need Ricer Amrabat for number 6. I'm just like seeing what you guys are talking about. Which keeper should Chelsea buy? Honestly, I have no idea. Like the only links that I've seen have been for Onana. I haven't done like any analysis or research into like how he compares to Kepa or Mendy yet, so I really don't have any thoughts on this. We also have like Gabriel Slonina, USA international, who we've signed, and I think like you can probably promote him to number 2 next season. Or I think Bettinelli is. I don't know if he's leaving Chelsea. I don't know why I thought I saw that. I could be lying. Yeah, Colin says, "Can we borrow Sam Kerr?" Right? I would love that. Like honestly, she would just bag goals. DM and striker. Yeah, we're having a lot of shouts in there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know who we're going to sign. We throw Osimhen in there. That would be insane if we sign him. I don't know if it's going to happen. And he's just led Napoli to a title. So like, is he really going to leave? I don't know. Um, yeah, let's see. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this match review. I'm honestly over the moon to finally be able to give one and have us win a game. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like this video and sub to the channel. Please, if you're watching, if you're not subbed already, please sub and follow me on other socials. You can find me at Ellie_Helenek on Twitter and at Elizabeth Helenek on TikTok and Instagram, where I'm doing more short form, fun videos and content. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Follow me on socials. Let me know what type of content you want to see coming up over the next couple of weeks and like into the summer, because I need the ideas. So hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, I'm out. Bye.